Scary animations, that's what we're going to be reacting to today. We're going to be looking at a compilation. It's 30 minutes long, so I'm probably not going to drop it all at once and maybe split it into like parts, so part 1 and part 2 like another time. And we're going to go ahead and get right into the video. My introduction is already long enough, so I'm going to cut it here. I hope you guys do enjoy the video. I've seen like almost all the scary animations, so I might even like re-see some of them sometimes.
It all
re-see
started
some of them again.
last month. I was
What
leaving
started last
school
month?
alone. It was a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
As I was
She
leaving,
doesn't have
I saw a
AirPods. That's the
man
first
in
thing
his
I noticed.
50s. He was wearing a black jacket and a pair of ugly old basketball shorts.
Okay, you don't have to be that rude.
So gross. After a couple of minutes, I was finally home. I was listening to music.
Hey, what kind of look at this guy.
I didn't realize that the man.
I wonder what kind of song she was listening to.
He was even holding a camera.
Is he holding a camera?
Bedroom window. I freaked out, but
honestly, listen, if you're gonna stalk someone the right way. Ask them for their snap, and then what you want to do after that is you want to like scroll all the way down to their very first picture, and then you want to like that. That's how you properly stalk someone and let them know at the same time. Not what he's doing. He's taking it, he's too extra.
I still tried to stay calm. As I was locking the door, I checked the window and the man was still there holding his camera and smiling. I told my mom, so she called the police, but they didn't find anything. They even asked me to describe him to an artist so that they could have his face.
He looked like a bum.
Nothing. I wouldn't tell you this story if it didn't happen just last week. I was finishing a private guitar lesson at my
teacher's house. It did not happen last week. Did it happen last week? This video came out in July 2nd of 2019. We're in February of 2020. It did not happen last week.
And something caught my eye.
Wait, hold up. She was at her teacher's house and they were doing school stuff. Does that actually happen? Do you guys go to like your teacher's houses and like do school stuff?
And her husband. Then I realized that my stalker was her husband.
He still looks homeless.
I took my bag, made up an excuse.
He looks like an alcoholic. But hey, I'm not judging, okay? Let's pretend I never said that.
She was shocked when she saw me running. Soon after, I opened my bag and almost passed out.
Okay.
There was an envelope full of my pictures.
I wonder how that got there.
In my bedroom. I immediately
That's so
called
crazy.
my mom crying.
And she posted none of them on Valentine's Day and be like, "Aw," when Bae catches you sleeping.
She called the police, and after a couple of minutes, they arrived. My mom did as well. They went into my teacher's house.
Just like that, without any warning?
Questions about her husband.
Oh, they're not searching, they're just asking questions. They look hella mean.
She stayed quiet. After searching the house,
yeah, she wasn't trying to snitch and it'll be the next 6ix9ine. Look at all of that. That's so crazy. You can tell that the photographer was putting in max effort. He's trying to be like some next level photographer.
After they caught him, they discovered that he had a bad history, which included rape and sexual assault.
That does not sound right.
Prison, but I'm still afraid that someone like him will go a step further.
Hey, yeah, so whether this story is true or not, stuff like this does actually happen, like way more than you girls think, and or guys, because guys can get raped too. So stay safe out there, girls and guys, just be careful outside, because you know, stuff like this does actually happen, and you know, it could happen any day to anyone at like any moment, you know what I'm talking about? So like, honestly, just stay safe.
I'm 30 years old, and this story took place when I was 13. My mother was a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs.
I do not like this narrator. So I've seen these horror stories before, right? I told you guys this before. I don't know if I haven't. Yeah, I don't like this narrator. It doesn't sound like a storytelling voice to me.
And walked back and forth to school. I was a pretty responsible kid for my age.
See, at that age, I wouldn't be responsible at all. I probably would have burned down the kitchen or my entire house a long time ago. I wasn't responsible at that age. Come on now.
One night, I was watching TV while eating ice cream, and someone knocked at the front door. I was wondering who it could be, as my friends never came out this late and my mom would always use her key to get in.
Well, duh, yeah.
I opened the door, and it was a man standing there with his hands in his pockets.
Okay.
I said hello.
Did you guys see that he was cross-eyed?
He replied,
or had a lazy eye?
"Hello, young lady."
Either or.
Are your parents home?
Okay, what does it matter to you if her parents are home? Like, what?
I said no. My mom isn't home right now.
Do you need help or something? I can help you.
He then said with a surprised smile on his face, "Oh, you're all alone, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I am. He replied with, "Okay, young lady. Have a nice night."
Yeah, you have a nice
Don't
night
get in
too,
any
buddy.
trouble." He then walked away and I closed the door. He seemed friendly, but also weird at the same time.
What is that? What is that? Do you see his tongue out like that? What the what is that? Okay.
He was a little funny looking though.
That definitely was funny looking. Look at that.
On, with a mustache and bags under his eyes like he never slept. About 10 minutes passed, and there was another knock at the door. I got up to answer it, but before I opened the door, something told me to put the chain on.
You better put that lock on.
But my gut told me to do that.
You know who it is. You guys know exactly who it is.
But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I opened the door, it was pushed open, but abruptly stopped by the chain. Before I could even say or do anything, I looked through the crack of the door to see the same man again.
Same creepy old guy with his tongue out, and saliva all over it. Tongue drip.
Hey there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh, really?
As he stuttered.
By jamming her door like that?
Like
I don't think. I think you have other intentions there, buddy. You want to be more honest?
Any suspicion. By speaking quickly and making it seem like he didn't just obviously try coming into the house.
Obviously, he tried to break into the house and do something to you, stupid.
Thanks. And I shut the door. At that time, I didn't really understand the situation.
Of course, he has a knife, so he's trying to go in and kill her.
But still,
casually,
I was freaked out and wanted my mom to come home soon. An hour went by, and I was still thinking about what happened, so I started.
And you didn't call the cops in the meantime, like within that hour, and be like, yo, some old man with his tongue out was trying to come into my house and kill me?
Hey, let me in quick. I gotta tell you something.
You better leave my door alone. Tell me you want to kill me?
This was the scariest situation I've ever been in my life. It was the man once again. He was talking through the letterbox. I shouted, "Leave me alone." The letterbox closed. Then the man started banging on the front door, screaming, "Let me in, you little shit."
That has to be the most terrifying experience ever. One time I had a nightmare, right? It was of somebody trying to get into my house and kill me. Super crazy. Of course, I couldn't see what he looked like because it was like some dark figure. Anyways, one moment he was coming up by my door and he was knocking on my door super hard. I've never been more scared in my life in a nightmare. Like, I had sleep paralysis for like a quick minute though. Such a scary experience. I don't like that. The whole banging on the door thing, like, nah.
The front door handle up and down trying to get in. I just stood back crying, praying he doesn't get in. He eventually gave up and left.
Do you maybe want to call the cops? Maybe that would have been useful.
Later, just to find me crying. And I told her everything that happened. We told the police, but they never found this guy.
5 hours later. Of course they never found it.
And I think how grateful I am.
She must have been so
to put the chain on the door.
Traumatic experience.
I hate to think what that man would have done.
He would have killed you. What do you mean you would have thought? Nah, you would have been dead, fam. Yo, there he is right there. Can you go home, please? Can't you see people are trying to sleep? Ooh, a knife. So scary.
I have a true story from when I was younger.
Alright,
I was walking home from school one day.
Of course, they're always just walking home from school. All the time they're walking home from school.
Weird. I saw a face which seemed familiar to me, but I didn't know how. Later, I was sat in my room, and I must have fallen asleep. I had a strange dream where my grandmother, who had passed away before my birth, came to visit me.
What kind of eye mask is that? Or face mask, whatever you call it.
In which
Does she sleep too?
She wanted to
you can't see her eyes?
I had no idea.
Or was that on purpose? I don't know.
I must have agreed to take it. I don't remember exactly what happened next, but I knew it was morning by the way that my mother was calling me to get up for school.
Right.
I did my normal morning routine, except I didn't.
Oh, so you're just gonna open up the blinds like that, like it's nothing? She was clearly ready for the day.
Anyhow, I went downstairs to the bathroom and then went into the living room. My mom was in the kitchen.
That's not breakfast.
I sat in the living room.
That's milk and cereal. Okay, you need to have a full-on meal for breakfast. I'm talking like sausages, eggs, fucking orange juice, and all of that other good stuff. Like, that's just cereal and milk.
Waiting for her to be ready.
That's not breakfast.
And as she came in with my tea and cereal...
Tea and cereal?
She took one look at me and dropped everything.
Who's gonna clean that up now?
I thought it was because she had seen me without my glasses, but she wasn't really looking at my face. She was looking at my neck. Somehow during the night, a small cold...
See, I did not notice that she had that on this whole time.
I was told that the locket...
Did she clean up the milk and tea, or did she just leave it on the ground like that?
No one knew where it had gone or what it contained. I never even had
Well,
seen
since she has it now, do you maybe want to open it up to see what it has in there?
Seen pictures of my
she has no hair, fam.
So,
oh, there we go.
Little by little, everything started to fall to place.
Mm-hmm.
The person I had seen, or at least thought I saw...
Yeah, that's your grandma, fam.
My gran. To this day, I still have the locket. I tried to return it to my mom, but she said the locket wasn't given to her, and that it was given to me for safekeeping.
Good stuff.
I still have so many questions about it, like, why was it hidden all these years? Or why was it given to me? But I keep it with me always, as a good luck charm.
Wonderful story. It was like, that has to be one of the best stories, right?
This story just happened last year. I work as a receptionist at a hotel.
Okay.
And we often hold high school proms here, as we have a big hall and a stage. In order to get to the hall, you have to pass the reception desk. It was prom night, and it was already underway. All the students and teachers were in the dance hall. All the pictures had been taken, and the reception area was empty. At some point during the evening,
peep the drip, though.
The reception desk. I looked up to see a tall man standing there.
Alright.
He had a clean-shaven face, and his hair was greasy and tied.
He had a clean-shaven face, but he looks like that?
That was pretty old.
That doesn't make any sense.
And it was also dirty.
There's a little bit of blood on his shirt if you guys can't even tell. But peep the drip, though, right?
His eyes were wide open. And he said,
okay.
I'm here for the prom.
What?
At first, I thought he was kidding, but he looked dead serious. He accidentally said porn, then he said prom.
Wow.
I said,
okay, so clearly don't let him in. Be like, security, you need to come get this guy. He said he was here for some
I'm a student
18 and over content. He's a student?
I still kept thinking he was joking. He looked to be in his late 40s, and he was telling me he was a high school student.
Nah,
so I asked
man.
him, how old are you?
I don't know what kind of drugs he's on.
I'm 17. No, 16. Yeah, 16. At this point,
if he's 16, then I'm 64.
I said,
16.
I'm sorry, but you don't look 16 at all.
Well, no, he doesn't.
He just stared at me, not saying a word, with his eyes wide, staring right at me.
He's just trying to see the shorties, right?
And said, I'll make you a deal.
Alright, what's the deal, man?
I have a big blade in my pocket.
Okay.
If I'm not 16, you can cut my finger off. If I am 16, I can cut your finger off.
Alright, so go ahead and cut your finger off, because clearly you don't look 16. You look...
because he walked out right after he said
36.
That. I told my boss about what happened. He said to let him know if he comes back and he'll deal with it. I finished my shift around 12.
Thank God he didn't get in, though.
I went to get in my car.
Talking about he's here for the poor. What's wrong with this guy? It's so crazy.
Written on it was, a deal is a deal.
So he cut off his own finger, right?
To see a human finger.
Oh, so that's his manager's finger.
It wasn't his own finger due to it being another color. I never saw that man again. And I always wondered why he was trying to get into that prom.
He was there for the porn. He was trying to rape and kill someone. What do you think he wanted to get in? My grandmother hunting me.
One day I was showering. My sister came into the bathroom and said, "Don't open the curtains." She said that her friend was going to use the bathroom because she couldn't hold it any longer.
Alright.
I said, okay. I knew someone was there because I heard noises. Then I heard the door close, so I came out of the bathroom. I asked my sister which one of her friends came. She answered, "No one came over. What are you talking about?"
What?
I got chills and I started to freak out. About 2 months later, I was sleeping in my parents' room with my mom and dad.
Why were you sleeping in your parents' room with your mom and dad? Aren't you like He looks old enough. Like, he should have his own room, right? If it was my parents, they would have kicked me out, like, a long time ago.
I was scared to sleep alone in my own room.
Oh, okay.
I woke up in the middle of the
still
night.
Wouldn't care.
I sat down on the bed, and then I saw something
Hey,
truly
best go
horrifying.
sleep in your own bed.
I saw a lady in all white
She looks
standing
creepy.
near the bedroom door, just watching me.
Ooh, that smile doesn't look
I
right.
screamed, and my parents woke up. They asked me what happened, and I pointed at the lady that scared me. They asked
My
me
parents
what I
would tell
was
me to
talking
shut
about
up.
because there was no one there. I pointed toward its direction and said that there's a lady right there.
Ain't nobody there, fam.
My dad got up to turn on the lights. He walked right through the lady.
Oh, so he can see her, but
As soon as he turned on the
his
lights,
parents
the
can't.
lady disappeared.
She's gone, man.
We moved about 3 months later. When we were unpacking, I saw a picture of a lady.
Mm-hmm.
She looked familiar.
See, now
When
that
I
looks
remembered
better.
where I saw her, I got chills. It was the lady I saw when I woke up in the middle of the night.
How did it
asked
turn
my
into
dad
that?
who
Why does
was
she
the
look so
lady in the
crusty and
picture.
salty now?
He
Did
told
her
me that she
husband
was
leave
my
her and let her
grandma.
die? Like, what? What was the
He
story
also
behind
told me
that?
she died when he was 23 years old. My dad
She
was
died
now
young or
at the age
something?
of 41 when he told me. I got really scared after that.
Okay.
Now when I wake up in the middle of the night, I try my best to go straight back to sleep.
Is she still like gonna watch him in his sleep? Looking like that? That doesn't feel right to me. I don't know, I maybe throw something at her to like, can you not watch me in my sleep, please? Like, that's not...
It was April of 2007, and my birthday was approaching.
Oh, his birthday's in April? My
Most
birthday's
of
in
my
April
family had already
too.
told me the gifts I would receive, like a new Wii along with video games. for
Yeah, I
me.
didn't really get much
My
for like
grandmother
all of my
didn't tell me
birthdays.
anything. Now, my
Other
grandmother
than
had
money, I
always been
spilled
a
some water
strange
on my
woman.
hand.
She
But yeah,
wasn't
other
very
than money,
talkative, but I
didn't
liked
really
to
get
hear the
much for my
stories she
birthdays.
told. They were creepy, but intriguing. She told me she was going to give me a book. She didn't show it to me, nor did she tell me what it was about.
Okay.
Once my birthday rolled around, I was opening gifts from my loved ones. When I got to my grandmother's present, I opened it up and I saw a book with a pentagram carved into its front cover.
A
I
pentagram?
picked it up and thought nothing of it, because at the time,
No
I
comment.
didn't know what the shape was, or what it meant. As soon as I grabbed it, though, everything went pitch black.
Right.
When I woke
That's
up, my
Satan right
family was
there.
surrounding me,
Possession.
and my mom was scolding my grandmother about giving me the book.
You're like, yo, are you stupid, fam? Why would you buy that for my son? Are you dumb? Are you crazy? Should I slap you right now? And then she's like, no, it wasn't on purpose, fam. Allow me. It was just a little gift. You know what I'm talking about? It's not that serious. You're lucky I didn't tell my husband. He would have dealt with you easy, eh?
My grandmother looked at me, but her eyes were evil-looking. That night, when I went to bed, I was having a pretty good
She
dream.
doesn't like him.
But suddenly, something woke
Do
me
you
up.
see those nails? Those are like
I
drag...
looked around and saw nothing.
Okay, witch nails?
Then, suddenly, I saw a shadowy figure in the doorway looking at me.
Ah, I wonder who it is.
This wasn't a case of sleep paralysis because I was able to move. But that didn't comfort me because that meant it was real life.
Yeah. Who is it?
The figure crept closer and closer to me. When I looked closer at the figure, I saw gray
So
hair
was your
and
grandma.
crooked teeth.
No, I mean, looking creepy, as
That's
creepy
when
as
I knew it
ever.
was
Ooh, her hair looks nice though, not even gonna lie.
my grandmother. I screamed and ran past her, but she grabbed me and tossed me back.
With those witch hands?
I noticed she had something in her hand, but I couldn't tell what it was.
It's a knife, fam. What else could
I
it
saw
be?
one of my toys that I had gotten a few
Right,
years
so you
ago.
want to take that and
Picked
you
it up
actually want to
threw
throw it at her. She's like,
I fell on the ground and I ran past her, telling my parents. My parents called the police and they
did you
got
see how
there
she
and
fell
arrested her.
down?
The thing she had in her hand
Was a knife, fam. Look at his face.
and she was planning on killing me.
And I'm like,
To this day,
you're like,
I
move
wonder
it, bitch. You're so
what
going to
would have
jail.
happened if that toy wasn't lying there?
You would have probably grabbed something else to throw at her. I don't know.
People call me Yaya. This happened to me when I was a young girl, maybe 7 or 8. It was.
I thought you were the other girl.
My mother and I were
The
at a
one
mall
with the
shopping.
kidnapper who was trying to like come
We
in and
went
kill
from
you.
store to store.
Now you're Yaya?
Mostly for me. I was the spoiled kid. We went into a coat store.
Look at her face, man.
And I was pretty bored, so I would constantly walk away from my mother.
Do you know how dangerous that is? Especially for a girl?
My mother would always call my name, and I'd go running to her.
It's not friendly out here.
This time, I was playing in a round coat rack. My mother called my name, and I ran out. I ran right into this older man. Then he grabbed me.
With the witch hands again. Look at his... Wrist. Why don't they cut their nails?
Asked me why
I don't understand.
I told him because I have to get to my mom. He then told me he could take me to her, but I said no, and he let go. It was weird because I saw this man.
They went to go buy some Kylie Jenner makeup,
but he never had any bags.
Makeup
After that
kit?
store, I had to use the bathroom really bad, so I went while my mother went to the food court. I sat down.
I'm walking away from your mom again. Why didn't you go in with your mom? She doesn't understand how dangerous out here it is for a girl.
At this point, I was just looking at the
Look, the man came in the bathroom.
They were men's shoes. I was confused.
Why are you judging? It could be women's shoes. You never know. But yeah, it's a man. He came into the bathroom.
Said,
"Hey, Yaya, everything okay in there? I'll come in if you want me to."
It was the man from the stores.
What kind of... Look, what is that?
And I could see his eyes peeking through the crack of
all
the
of
door.
that?
He then started shaking the stall. I began to scream. I've never been so afraid in my life. Then two women walked into the bathroom.
Thank goodness. You girls came in clutch.
These women took me to
fucking
my mother
pervert.
and told
What's wrong with them going into the girls' bathroom?
They found him due to the cameras.
Stupid.
I don't know what his intentions were, but the police said he probably would have kidnapped me.
And raped you and killed you.
From that time on, I would
never walked away from your mom. Exactly, right? She doesn't... Now she knows how dangerous it is. Girls don't know how dangerous it is. Young girls walking away from your parents. You can die. Okay. That was just a black screen for a second. The man in my brother's closet.
This happened 2 months ago in January of 2019. My parents went out to a party. They told me they wouldn't be back until at least 3 a.m. in the morning because the party was supposed to start at 8 p.m.
They look like
and
brothers
the party
and
was
sisters,
going to be
but
in
okay.
New Jersey. We live in Connecticut, so
they all look
takes a while
related.
to get there and back. They told me to watch my 10-year-old brother and expected me to be responsible because I'm 15 years old. When they left, we watched movies all night while eating a bunch of popcorn. It was around 11:30, and we just finished watching Infinity War. I told my brother to brush his teeth and go to bed. I stayed up later than him to watch the movie Logan. The movie ended, and it was around 2 in the morning. I was getting ready for bed when my brother came down the stairs.
I would have been asleep a long time ago.
I asked him what he was still doing up, and he said the boogeyman was in his closet and wanted to touch him.
Whoa! I don't know about any of that. You better go upstairs and check that.
Kid to pull pranks or joke around.
Touch it? Nah, I don't play that.
Check it out. I said fine and started saying he probably just heard a house noise.
In the closet?
He said he heard a noise coming from his closet, and when he checked inside, the boogeyman was there and said he wanted to touch him. We went inside his room.
Touch him where?
I turned on the light and we went to the closet door. I opened it, and what I saw made me seriously angry. There was a tall, scruffy-looking man with long, black, greasy hair.
He seems to be missing his eyeballs.
He looked as if he was in his mid-40s and was fairly built.
He looks creepy, though.
I was pissed off when I saw this creep watching my 10-year-old brother sleep, and I figured out what my brother meant when he said the boogeyman wanted to touch him.
Is that a cockroach up his nose, or is that hair?
I punched his throat. He dropped to the floor gasping for air, but I stepped on his face as hard as I could.
Can I show this on YouTube?
He was covered in blood and was having trouble breathing. I grabbed my brother and ran into the bathroom, locking the door and calling the cops. Then I called my parents. My parents freaked out. In about 10 minutes, the cops showed up and searched the bedroom.
Nah, he was gone, fam.
He wasn't
with two
in
missing
there.
teeth. They don't want you to pick
They
those up
searched
and
the
throw them in the
house.
garbage.
He wasn't anywhere to be found. I gave them a good
Caillou's a
description
police
of his
officer?
appearance, and an officer even stayed at our house until sunrise. A week later, I was informed that the same guy was caught and arrested for raping an 11-year-old boy and murdering his parents. It turns out he had raped multiple children before.
Multiple
and even
guys?
murdered some of them and their parents. He was 47 years old and received a death sentence. If my brother never came...
You know, in situations like, I don't know if it's a controversial topic or not. I mean, last semester in school, we talked about the death penalty and if you think it's right or not. In some states in the United States, they do have the death penalty because they believe in the death penalty. I would say in this situation, I do believe in the death penalty and he should be put to rest. Because no, that's not right. Clearly, if you let him out of jail, he's not going to stop. He's going to continue raping little boys and killing parents, so...
Came downstairs to tell me what happened. Then I feared the worst could have happened.
He would have got raped.
And I'm extremely thankful
his big brother would have died.
Happened.
You see, he's got his tongue out. You know what he's trying to do here. Come on.
We used to have a maid from Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Wati.
A maid from Indonesia?
One night it was probably around 2 a.m. Everyone was sleeping.
Okay.
Suddenly, my brother and I heard my maid weeping. She was crying softly. We thought she probably missed her family in Indonesia, so we just ignored her and went back to sleep.
Okay, rude. You want to ask her what's up, give her a hug or something? People need hugs sometimes too, you know.
She was weeping again. This went on and on.
Just give her a hug. Tell her it'll be fine. Like, that's all you have to do.
We told our parents about it, and everyone had the same thought.
So rude.
She probably missed her family back home.
Yeah, right?
One night at 9 p.m., my brothers and I were chilling in the living room. My maid was in the kitchen washing dishes. My dad was fixing the kitchen light, and suddenly my dad saw a shadow running around in the storage room. My dad thought it was one of us playing around, so my dad called out to my brother, "Can you please get the light bulb from the drawer?" But no one answered. Then my dad shouted, "Hey, can someone help me out and get the light bulb for me?" Both of us ran towards my dad from the living room, which is on the opposite side of the storage room. My dad then got confused and asked us why we came from the living room. We got goosebumps and walked into the storage room.
What was that?
We switched the lights on and saw that there was no one there. Yeah. However, we saw the maid shaking.
What, is she something?
She looked at us, then started weeping again.
Did she see Satan or something?
My dad asked, "Who was that and why are you weeping?" My maid then explained that it was her guardian from Indonesia.
A guardian
from
Indonesia.
My dad asked her to call him out, and he was going to call the police.
Okay.
But my maid stated that it was not a human, but a spirit that was summoned to protect her. After that, my dad brought us to a nearby hotel for the night and hired a spiritual hunter to chase the spirit away. Following that incident, we no longer heard the maid weeping, and she was sent back to Indonesia 3 days after.
Yeah, they sent her back because they weren't trying to deal with her. But yeah, it doesn't usually really work like that. Like, I've seen horror movies like The Haunting of Jessica or The Haunting of Ashley or The Haunting of all these white girls, right? Usually when you like go up to a church and you like bring up a case of like a haunting, they really like even churches are skeptical. Like, they're mad skeptical about these things, and they have to do like crazy inspections to like even perform an exorcism and to deem like the place haunted or like to say there's a demon in there, you know? So this story is not that realistic or practical, so I don't even know if it's true or not. It's probably not even true. I was haunted by my baby cousin.
When I was around 5 or 6 years old,
right,
I experienced something that I can't really explain.
What did you experience, Timmy?
I just came home from school one day.
Of course, you're always coming. They're all always coming home from school.
When I opened the door to my room, I saw that all my cars were disorganized.
Wait, hold up.
I freaked out. I have OCD, and so that's why I freaked out.
What's OCD? Hold up, what's OCD? Okay, Google, what's OCD?
Here's the definition of OCD. Short for obsessive compulsive disorder.
Okay, so Google told me it was obsessive compulsive disorder, but I still don't know what it means.
I then accused my mom of messing with my toys, but she swore she never touched them. I let it go. That night, I was asleep, and my dad was still up. He saw a kid go into the bathroom, and he thought it was me. He yelled, "Go back to bed!" My mom thought he was crazy, especially since I was fully asleep.
Okay.
When my parents went to my room to check on me, I was knocked out on my bed. My dad went to sleep, and my mom did too. The next day, however, my mom had a creepy experience. She was walking down the hall with my laundry, and she was knocked over by someone.
Somebody pushed her.
The crazy part is, I was in school, and my dad was at work. She was
so who pushed her down the stairs? She's like, "Oh my god!"
She picked up the laundry that fell and placed them on my bed.
Okay.
After
Her back
she
must
left
have been
my
broken
room,
or something. She
however,
broken
she
her
saw
leg,
a
sprained
picture
leg,
lying on the
whatever.
floor.
Oh, I remember when I fell down
She
the stairs
picked it
one
up
time.
and then fainted.
Who
I came
was
home
it?
and saw her passed out on the floor. I got scared
But
because
yeah,
I thought
I fell
my
down the
mom
stairs
was
one
dead.
time and like I broke my back and my
She
neck
woke
and
up
like my
only to
ribs
start
and everything
crying.
like that.
She told me that she saw
I had
my
to lay
baby
down for like a
cousin.
good minute.
I said,
Nobody
"So
heard
what?"
me fall down the stairs though. That's
But
what
then she said,
that was the crazy part.
"Son, your cousin is dead." Turns out he was killed in an accident before I was born.
Oh.
Nothing else has happened since that day, but I'm convinced that those experiences won't be the last.
Okay. I almost got kidnapped. Why are these guys always getting kidnapped? Getting kidnapped
This
by
happened
who?
when I was much younger. My brother was on the soccer team.
Okay.
Let's call him Sean. My family went to his soccer match, which was at a local park. This park included a huge soccer field and a playground area. I was getting bored of watching the game and went over to the playground,
So you walked away,
where
okay.
I spotted this kid who had a Spider-Man web shooter on his wrist. Being a big fan of
pretty cool.
Spider-Man, I walked up to him. I asked him if it was the silly string shooting toy, and he nodded.
No, he
Then
doesn't
said,
look friendly.
"I have
fam.
another
wouldn't
one in
talk
my
to him.
family's car.
Ooh,
I'll show you."
No.
So he led me over to his van that was parked in the parking
I
lot
would walk
nearby.
away.
He began to crawl in.
And like,
His
you want to
father
come
was
in
in
the way
front
with me?
seat. He gave me a weird,
Whoa!
creepy grin.
No,
but I
I'm not
still
with
started
that.
to climb into the van.
You
Out of
better run,
nowhere, I
man.
heard my father shouting my name. I was pushed out by the kid, and he slammed the van
Oh,
door
ouch!
shut.
F***ing rude.
The van sped off, and my dad ran towards me and hugged me. After that, my family and my brother left the game.
You see what he looked like? You see his face?
If my father didn't notice I had left the playground, or was a minute late, I
You
don't
would have been
know
dead,
where I'd
man.
be right now.
You would have looked just like him.
I just want to tell any parent who is either reading or listening to this, please, don't follow strangers.
I just want to tell any parent with a young child, please do not let them out of your sight, especially if they're girls, because for girls it's much more dangerous out there, okay? They're not safe. There's rapists out here, okay? So any parent with like a little child, please do always watch them when you're out. Just always watch them, okay? Like you never know, like they can get kidnapped any day, anytime, any moment. Watch your kids and don't follow strangers until you're like an
When I was 4
adult.
years old, my family
Then
and I
carry
used
a
to live in
weapon
a
with
huge
you and then
apartment.
follow the stranger.
Along with the apartment complex was a huge
Just
basement
in
where we
case.
could do our laundry. However, in order to get there, we had to take the elevator. One day, my mom was doing the laundry. My brothers and I accompanied her. My two brothers were playing together. Meanwhile, I
Playing
was
in the
wandering off
laundry?
to the
What,
dark
is he gonna
basement
push him in
hallway.
there?
As I walked in further, I saw bloody footprints that were the same size as my feet.
Okay.
I followed the footsteps, and they suddenly stopped at the end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up and I saw two kids.
Oh.
A boy with brown hair and brown eyes, and a girl with blonde hair.
They don't look friendly. They look like they're waiting for something to pop off. They look like they want to fight somebody. Both him and her. They don't look friendly. They look like they just killed someone.
And brown eyes. They were both my age.
See what?
There was something odd
They're
about
waiting
them,
to fight someone, I
but
swear.
like any other 5-year-old, I just ignored it. I turned my head around to see if there was anyone else in the hallway, but there wasn't. As I turned my head around to look at the kids again,
Oh, they're
vanished.
so gone, along with the blood.
I was confused. I mean, how
So
could that
am
be
I.
possible?
Where did they go? I don't know.
There was only a wall in front of me. A few days later, I was getting into the elevator. As soon as
Okay.
I entered, I saw the kids again. I asked them where their mom and dad were, but they didn't respond. I turned around and I pressed
Why
the
is
button to
everybody
go to
so
the third
rude? I
floor.
don't...
And as I turned back to them, again, they were gone. I was shocked. So I told the
All
janitor
right.
about what happened. Apparently, there was a horrible situation some time ago. A family used to live here, and the parents killed their own children.
Pretty
Now their
aggressive.
ghosts haunt the whole complex in search for their bodies. Several years have passed, and we moved out. But I still wonder if they ever
you
ended
gotta
up
feel bad for
finding their
them. They're
bodies.
trying to find their bodies, man. They're trying to leave. Okay, so that's the end of the video. That actually took way faster than I expected. Usually I record and I finish recording the day after. Okay, so that might be a little bit exaggerated, but I think you guys get the picture, right? No? That's the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I know I enjoyed it because time went by really fast, and you know what they say, time goes by really fast when you're having fun, right? So yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you guys next week or sometime soon. And that'll, yeah, that's it.